Hello everyone, and thanks for stopping by to Scrap and Craft with Terry. Today we're going to make a belly band with pockets, and we're just using an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and then we're going to decorate it with other papers. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you like my video, I just ask that you give me a thumbs up and check out my other ones. Now, let me see. You could probably just use scrapbooking paper if you wanted to. I decided I would use this because I just wanted to decorate it, and it's just a plain background, so that's what I'm doing today. So on my 11-inch side, I'm going to score this at 4.5, and then I'm going to turn it around and score at 1 3/4. Now this is the size that I'm making mine. You could make yours however you wanted it. This is the size that I figured looked okay as a belly band. So on the 4.5 side, we're going to fold it up, make sure we're evening up our edges. Oh, tore my paper. Really need to redo the top of my desk. Then I'm going to turn it around, and this is our flap. This is our 1 3/4 inch score. I'm just going to fold that over. Make sure you're kind of evened up there. Okay, and then that leaves a little bit of room between your flap and the top of your paper. Then we're going to fold this up one more time. Now let me go ahead and ink this. If I ink as we go, then you'll be able to see it easier. Ink down the sides, across the bottom. And then I'll fold this back and ink along here too, so you can see that. And this green that I'm inking with is called Cottage Ivy by Memento. Really like this color. And I might as well ink the top of this, and then it's done. So then I can do the back afterwards. So now that we got this done, we're going to go ahead and fold the bottom up to this line, to the top of our paper. Now you can score it again if you wanted, or you can just fold it up there because you're only going to the top of the paper. And then just flatten that down. Now let me just ink this a little bit more. There. Then I'll go ahead and ink this. Okay, I think that's enough inking for a while. Now, before we glue, well, we're going to open this back up. This section here that we did the first time, where it just goes right up to here, we're going to go ahead and glue that down. We're going to have 3 pockets in this. So we'll go ahead and fold this over, making sure that our edges are still even. Now you can fold this first part up and glue it down, and then you can fold your bottom up. It's whatever works best for you. Okay, so we have that done. Then we're going to fold this up. Now before we glue this down, we have to just, I didn't have to ink that because I have to cut it off. We're going to cut just a little tiny bit off, and it would be just like you're opening up your envelope to make a pocket out of it. So if you really wanted to, you could just use an envelope for this and then just decorate it. But it would be a bigger envelope. Okay. So we'll just cut that little tiny bit off. And that opens the bottom of it. So that gives us another envelope. So we're going to go ahead and glue this up now. And this is a very fast project. So this would make a great mass make. And if you have a lot of 8.5 by 11 papers, you know, with scraps to decorate it with, that would be good. But like I say, you can use scrapbook paper, doesn't matter. Okay, so now we have a pocket here. Oops, guess I should probably let the glue dry, huh? Or at least set up. We have a pocket here, a pocket here, and a pocket here. And we're going to have our flap close over it, so you just really don't even know them pockets are in there. So let's go ahead and ink this up. And we're all ready to decorate it. We'll just ink this flap. Let me ink this side of this again so it shows up a little better. So how's everyone surviving the heat? Maybe everyone doesn't have this heat. We don't have a heat advisory anymore. So it's only in the 80s today, and that's good. Okay, now I want to cut my thumb notch, and I'm just going to hold all 3 of these together. And my punch is a little big, so I have to put it in this way. And I'm just going to turn this over so I can see. I'm just holding my three layers together. I don't know if you'll be able to see me do this or not. I'm just holding my 3 layers together and trying to make it like in the center. I don't want to cut too big of a notch because they are small pockets. And my pocket come unglued. So that looks good. So let me glue this back down. didn't wait long enough for the glue to settle. Guess that's what you get when you hurry, huh? So let me just ink this a little bit. And ink this a little bit, try not to get it on my background. Okay, there we go. So now we can decorate. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I already have my papers cut, but I think I have to trim this one, and I don't want it. I'll have to cut a thumb notch in it. I'll cut off at the end. I think I'll do my thumb notch right about there. See if I can kind of match it up. Well, I didn't really match it, did I? So let me just cut a little bit off of the edge of this, make it just a little bit longer. I think that's better. I want to have a little border around it. So I'll just trim this off, maybe like about in here. What's everyone working on? Anything special? And this music paper is out of a really, really old book. I like the color of it. It on its own is like a cream color. Kind of yellowed, kind of creamy. Okay. Let's see how that fits. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down. I think I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac because this paper is just really thin and I don't want it to ripple. Now I didn't figure anything for the inside of my flap. Maybe I should have, but I can always add something later. So you can either do the inside of the flap or you don't have to. It's whatever you think. Okay. And I think this goes good with this paper. Hopefully I don't have it cockeyed. could be the way the paper is folded too. You just never know. Wait a minute. I think I had this on the inside. And then this was on the outside. I think this was supposed to go down here. And the music paper was supposed to go up there. So I did it wrong. I did it wrong. So we'll fix it. Kind of thought I should have had something for that inside flap. What do you think? All right. Let's do this. And get this around here and get it even. Make my little mark. What would it be without a mistake, right? Okay, so let me just trim off a little bit of the top parts up here. I'm just going to cut it, and that might not be a good thing. And if it's not right, then I'll cut another one. But I actually did that pretty good. So let's do this. Figured once I got it all folded up and glued, I would have to trim.
What did you fold up and glue? Knowing what you're working on will help me give you...
Wow, that was odd. I don't want my telephone talking to me. Okay. Now we can glue this piece down where it belongs. Oops, let me take that off. If I would have used art glitter glue, I wouldn't have been able to get that off. So I'm glad I was using my Fabri-Tac. I think I want it to go that way just a little bit. I think that looks good. Now I'm dropping stuff on the floor. Okay. Now, I don't need this, and that's a good thing. So I can cut off of this side. Sometimes things work out for the best. Okay, so I'm going to cut it about there. It wasn't a catastrophe after all. Let me turn this around. Now hopefully that cut right. Yep, that works. Okay, let me re-glue ink where I almost said glue. Let me re-ink where I cut it off. And then we'll try gluing it again. I have too much glue in my Fabri-Tac bottle to lay it down. I gotta quit laying it down. Okay. I don't think this paper's cut very straight, but I have glue on it, so I'm not going to cut it again. We won't tell anybody. So that's cute. Now, I'm going to put this on the front. And I don't think I'm going to cut that anymore. There's a little bit of a border there. So we'll just roll with that border. Hopefully I'm on the camera. And I like the green color background. It's something different. So there. So you'd open that up and then you have your pockets. And that'll sit just like this on your page. And that would make a nice belly band. Okay, let's decorate it. Let's see. Okay, we'll do the inside first. So I'm going to have a couple little pockets. You just don't want to go over the top. And these are just little digital prints. And I like butterflies. So we're going to go ahead and glue this one down. I think I'll use my art glitter glue for this. Am I up high enough? I think so. And I'm not going to do the thumb pulls in these because I don't want to make my pocket too small. Oh, had to pause for a minute, so I'm back. So I didn't want to put the little thumb notcher in this because I didn't want to cut any of this out. But we have a little journal page with butterflies. And I might have to trim it. Hopefully not. Nope, just had to open it up a little bit with my bone folder. So if your pockets get a little tight, then you can gently do that. Just watch you don't undo your pocket. Generally that'll open it up enough so you can get it down in there. And I rounded my corners so it'll go in easier. And this, I want to put right about in there. See, I don't want this to go real high to the top. Let me make a little mark. I'll put it right about there. And I'll just take that off. Kind of center it. I think this one is a little narrower than the bottom one, so I don't know, I might have to trim that. So we'll have the 3 big pockets, and then we'll have a couple little pockets. I like when you can add more pockets. So let's see if that slides down in there. Let me just go ahead and I'm just going to trim the black off and see if that helps. Sometimes you just need that extra little tiny bit. And I can't say I always cut corners very perfectly, so just like that one is very no good at all. Let's see how that is. That's better. Just needed that little tiny bit. Okay. Now for our front, or our flap, I'm going to add a little lace down the center, just for a little something something. I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac for this. I'll try to make for sure that I center it so I don't go off every which way. Generally, you can get your lace to pull it back over where it needs to be. Come down just a little. There we go. That kind of blends in with the background paper, but I don't know if you can see it or not. I think you can see the lace, but I like that lace. Then I have a little bird that I cut out of paper from the last project that I did. He's going to go down here. And then I had this rose. I think it's a rose. I don't think it's a tulip. So I cut it out, and I'm going to stick that up here right on the very edge. I thought that would just dress it up a little tiny bit, because I couldn't find anything else that I wanted to put on here. So I'm just going to stick this right on the edge. And then the little birdie down here, I'm going to stick him on the edge because he was on the very edge of the paper on this side. So I use some of this because some of him is going over onto the lace. And I think that's cute. Hopefully you can see the whole thing. I think that's cute. Now before I put, and then I'm going to put a flower in the center. Before I put my flower on, I'm going to put Velcro on my flap. Let me see. Should I move it down a little? I don't think so. I think I want to put it on right about here. Just have to make sure it goes over far. And oh well, the center of it's right there. Yeah, we'll put it in the center. I don't want it to look odd. So the center's right here, so we'll go right up here. Now I need to stay up this way a little bit so it doesn't get caught in the thumb notch. And that's not going to be where my flower is though. Take this off. This stuff's really sticky. Let me see. Oh, that still has room. Don't mind me, I'm in my own little world right here. So it's going to be right there. And I'm going to fold it over, stick it down, and then my flower can go right there, right on top of that. Let me find my plastic and throw it away. There. And then that'll just open up and close. All right, so now I'm going to put my flower on. And we're going to stick it right there. And I just took 2 artificial flower petals apart, glued them together, and put a little gem in it. I think that's cute. What do you think? It's closer to the bird than that flower, but I don't think I want to put anything else up there. I don't think it needs anything. So let me put the pin in, cover up my ink. And then in our pockets inside, I just have these. They're just printouts. And I cut them to fit, and I rounded all 4 corners. So one can go in here. And you can see it in the thumb notch. And this one, I just cut this to fit, and this one can go in the next one. So you'll have journaling paper in here. And then in this one's like an invoice. So I cut this down, and it's going to go in right here. So there. Now, if you don't like the way, now when your journal is closed, this is going to push down. If you don't like the way this sticks up and you want the Velcro on both ends, you can do that. But I didn't want to put Velcro on my pocket down here, and it would have been in the way of my tag up here. So I thought just the one tag, or the one Velcro piece was good enough. But you can do it however you want. But like I say, once it's in your journal, it's going to kind of hold it down. And after a while, it'll probably stay down. So then you would have do this again, you would have your belly band here because it'll be glued at the top and at the bottom. And then you would just fold this open, take out your little tags and write on them. Take out your journaling paper because it's not going to move around. Journal on it, put it back in your pocket. And like I say, it's not going to move around. So I think that's pretty cute. What do you think? Let me find my pocket. Once it's glued down, it'll be easier. So that is our video for today. Hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope everyone stayed till the end. I think some of my people are leaving before my video's over. But I guess if you don't want to watch all of it, you don't have to either. So give me a like, give me a comment, let me know what you're doing, let me know what you think. And until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day and happy crafting. Bye for now.